say that John McClane loves a challenge is an understatement. Since becoming a paraplegic after being hit by a truck 13 years ago, the former footballer has climbed many personal mountains, taking on some of the most gruelling sporting challenges in the world. In 1997, after 2 previous attempts, the Sydney sider became the first paraplegic to complete the toughest multi-endurance race in the world, the Hawaii Ironman. The next year, John conquered the English Channel, succeeding in his second attempt and again becoming the first paraplegic to complete the crossing. From there, John turned his attention to the Paralympics, competing in 5 events for Australia at the Sydney 2000 Games.
He's getting a standing ovation.
Now he has his sights set on another personal Everest to climb, taking on the Sydney to Hobart yacht race, an event regarded as one of the toughest, if not the toughest, offshore races in the world. And just like the other challenges he's faced, he can't wait to tackle it. McClane joining a very special crew on board Aspect, an ocean racer which caters for sailors with disabilities.
Yeah, well, I think everyone has their own mountain to climb, and after having my accident all those years ago, riding a push bike and being hit by a truck in 1988, my first mountain to climb was getting a chance to be a part of, the Hawaiian Ironman, training for a triathlon when I got hit. So, and I guess this is my, the channel, I guess, was my water to cross, and maybe this is there's a love of water and getting a chance to be a part of a Hobart, which is in sailing terms, it's the mecca. So I'm very excited to be on board Team Aspect with sailors with disabilities, and looking forward to pulling my weight on the grinder and being a part of the whole event.
How did you get involved with the boat?
Yeah, I met a guy from Aspect who actually coached, Danny Ryan, who coaches the football team, and said, can you come along and have a chat to some of the players, which I was more than happy to do. And he said in turn, we've got this boat which does the Hobart, which we sponsor sailors with disabilities, and get a chance to meet the skipper, David Pescott, and meet the other sailors. So yeah, that's how I got on board.
Now, for most able-bodied sailors, the Sydney to Hobart is a daunting prospect. But imagine what it would be like if you were a paraplegic and you've only just recently taken up sailing. That's exactly the situation John McClane is facing, but typically he's not fazed.
I think it's the same with the channel. That I'd never swum any major distances, and when I found out that a friend of mine had swum the channel, Ian Byrne, in '95, he said, mate, if I can do it, you can do it. So we worked towards that, and I like to set myself a huge goal, or a big goal, and incremental gains work towards it, and hopefully achieve the objective. So this is another goal.
John will be one of 8 disabled sailors amongst a 16-man crew on board Aspect. Skipper David Pescud, who is dyslexic, is a veteran of 12 Hobart races, and he's thrilled to see John join his crew.
I think he brings a lot of inspiration to the crew, a lot of power. Physically, he's very strong. I think the important thing that people like John, that have conquered their disability, bring is that mental attitude of toughness and continuing on. I mean, for a paraplegic to get out of bed in the morning, it's a tough go-round. So, and every day, drive a car, it's tough. So if you've got that mental attitude about what your day-to-day life, really, I'm not going to say it's a walk in the park, but a sail to Hobart, you just bring that to bear, and it's that type of thinking that creates success in sport, in business, and in life.
Guys, we'll lift this back sail up as soon as you're ready.
7 years ago, David Pescud started Sailors with Disabilities after he heard a radio interview with a paraplegic who wanted to sail in the Sydney to Hobart. And since then, with the support of Aspect Computing, the group has grown. The so-called disabled proving that they can overcome any handicap.
Disabled is a state of mind. Let's start at that phrase. If you believe you can do something, then you'll find a way of doing it. Vinnie Loris went round with us in '94 and '95. He's just sailed around the world, paraplegic, just sailed around the world, single-handed, unassisted, completed circumnavigation on his own in the Southern Ocean. Everything this world can throw at him, and Vinnie did it. We've only got 600 miles, and we've got 13, 14 people on the boat. We can do it. We do it through teamwork. We take a bit more time. We plan a little bit more. We try to not get ourselves into a position that's troublesome to us. At the same time, we compete very, very seriously. I mean, We're very proud of our 9th in 98 over the line and our first in division. We went last year and we won the Cross Harbour race in our division overall. And they're both very competitive. So it's not just a case of, going to Hobart for a trip. We're going down there to do our very best.
The crew of Aspect have certainly proven in the past that they can more than match their other competitors in the Hobart race. In 1998, not only did they survive the tragic race, they won their division. Now John McClane joins that group and he's ready for anything.
I've had a look at the documentary Hell on High Water and read both books, The Proving Ground and Fatal Storm. So yeah, I'm familiar with what happens. But the skipper's very, very competent. He's been out. He's had million overboard drills, and we all know about what we need to do if something does go wrong. So I feel very confident to be in his crew and with the other sailors on board.
It's no pleasure cruise though, is it?
No, it's not here. You're right. It's not an ocean liner. There's no comfortable big beds down there. So this is a racing yacht. It's similar to a racing car. You've got everything you need to make this thing perform. So I'm very much looking forward to pulling my weight and working on that grinder. And as I say, 2 teams of 8. So when I'm on, I'm looking forward to being a part of it. And hopefully, being not only being a part of the yacht, but when we get to Hobart, that I can say, we're a part of a successful team.
If determination counts, John McClane and the rest of the Aspect crew will succeed and not only reach Hobart, but also be very competitive. And if all goes according to plan, it'll be another great chapter in John's life. This inspirational character ready to tackle anything that is thrown in front of him, and in the process, show others that they can do the same.
It's a new challenge and something else I get a chance to speak corporately about, because that's what I really enjoy doing, and just saying to everybody else that I don't get things right the first time. Hawaiian Ironman took me 3 times, the English Channel took me twice. I was famous for crashing last year at the Olympic Games, as well as the Paralympic Games, so I'm not one of these guys who just rolls out and wins gold medals or gets things right the first time, which is then able to relate to everybody else. I'm just out there having a go and want to indicate to other people they can do the same thing.